La da 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 da. Hello, everyone. I'm watching a game that I'm not playing. The people that are playing are Umbrageofsnow
I'm the shadow elves on the bottom half of the screen.
and Colgha.
I'm not the Shadow Elves on the bottom screen.
Fantastic. Cool. And I'm Uncleeurope. Let's play a game. You can now, like, roll dice and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we already rolled for who goes first, and I
Yeah,
think
so
it. Do we
so
want
go
to
ahead. No, just
Yeah.
go ahead and kill my guys.
Okay,
So
so
Umbridge got the luck of the draw. I guess of the roll.
the luck of the roll. So I'm gonna go ranger versus zealot, and miss terribly,
That's interesting.
and swordsman versus cultist, and almost miss,
Mm.
and then. Do I want to shoot one of my own guys? Not really feeling it.
You're not feeling it? I imagine that your troops aren't feeling it either.
So yeah, your turn.
All right. So you want my cards face up in here, right?
Indeed.
Yeah. So Yui, tell us
Ooh.
if you can't see.
Ah. Ooh. Ah. Okay. So here we go. First draw. Not not great. Uh. Okay. So here's the thing with when I play the filth, I prefer getting a lot of mutations first because I like having magic early. But that's all right. We'll make it work. Um, First things first. I'm gonna play events. So oh my goodness, I picked up all five. So this is possessed wall. So take that. Um, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and play this here.
It's a
All
pretty
right.
good initial burst of events there.
Yeah, I wouldn't really complain about that.
That's pretty good.
Who was complaining?
No, no,
Turn one
no.
possessed wall is fun.
Hmm?
Turn one possessed wall is fun.
Sure. Okay. Uh,
It's so
no, I wasn't complaining. I was just not. There are more ideal hands. Okay. Anyways. So I'm gonna go ahead and move. Now, I can't get out of range of your ranger.
I see what you did there.
Uh, so let's just take it down then.
Yeah, that's true. That's the best way. You have
Uh,
to kill it.
so we're going demagogue against the swordsman here. The die are with me today. Actually, yeah, yesterday I think Umbridge, you were watching. I rolled misses just left and right. The only time I was hitting anything was off of precise. We're going zealot to the ranger. Beautiful.
They're even like good hits too. Like that's some top quality stuff right
I
there.
mean, 6 is obviously a better hit than a 4.
It's a hit and a half,
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Some extra oomph. All right, and I'll go ahead and build. Mm. And it matters actually the order. Let's bear in mind. So that's something I always have to keep
That's
my mind
true.
on. That with the filth, that your build order is definitely something you want to pay attention to. Um, I'm good with this. Go ahead.
Okay.
So now you're probably going to be looking for something that you don't care about dumping into the discard pile. Don't forget to flip your cards, by the way.
Yep, I'll flip them all as a group
That is probably wise.
once I draw them all. So those all on screen good?
Indeed.
And yeah, so the this card did not matter. I regret nothing.
You regret nothing? Cool.
You will.
Do I?
So talk us through your move. What are you thinking about?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking that getting rid of the possessed wall early is nice but unnecessary if I happen to draw another wall, which I did. Spoilers. So I'm
Yeah, I don't
probably
know
just
if you
I
actually
agree.
care about
I agree. I don't
dumping
like
the
wasting.
play the wall and not summon this turn. I've got enough units out really going all out for Demagogue. So
I
that
agree with
decides
that.
me on the summoning. As much as I would love to summon and shoot something, I can just probably kill the Zealot and work on having a better assassination some future turn. So that's what I'm going to do. No summoning, playing a wall, and then we get into the question of wall placement, which my instinct is so often to put it here, partly just because I like blocking you. I'm not sure that that's actually particularly smart, but I don't know. It may be easy for you to create a little fortress that I can't get into here and make the summoning spot kind of useless. Like if you put a wall to the left of your other wall.
And there's also to keep in mind that this is going to be your sole wall for a while.
Yeah. So that's why I
Presumably.
hesitate to play the wall there. Whereas if I had the other wall unpossessed, I would be much more okay with it.
Because you aren't going to be able to summon anything on that half of the board for a while. Which may
But
not
the-
end up mattering, right? But
Yes, my other thoughts, because this is, I think, actually a pretty key decision in the game. We'll see if that bears out. My other thoughts are somewhere like here to kind of keep the central summoning ability,
I was thinking of that location as well.
or possibly on the far side. I'm not sure why, but just to keep more spots open. But I really think either here or here are the better spots. If Colgha draws his second wall, I feel like this position is a lot worse.
I agree with that.
But if he doesn't draw the wall, this probably gives me better assassination potential, because I can go up either side and he's got to kind of stick one big mutation on one side blocking things. But I don't know that there's any real point gambling on that. I've got a lot of ranged units. So this is probably better, is the conclusion I'm coming to. But
It definitely makes the game interesting.
it definitely makes the game interesting. Two walls this early is always...
Yeah, it always
Yeah.
really shapes the battlefield. It's...
So this is a key decision that may or may not be a mistake, but I'm going to go with the, I guess, more conservative option here.
Are you still thinking about your turn?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's an
I left.
important
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, I left the room. Sorry. All right. Cool.
I think the
I was-
wall is important. Anyway, so no other events. Swordsman to here. Scout to here, I guess. And this swordsman. I want to go up there. That kind of no. I guess I'll move the ranger up here. Just kind of a not doing anything. So, swordsman against zealot.
By the way, should we talk about how this matchup should favor Selundar, especially because, he starts out with so many units on the board. Two, they're fast and can get upfield. And three, they hit relatively hard. And four, I guess we weird muffling. Four, you have Into Darkness, which I don't know. That'll get rid of a spell sucker or incanter.
Anyway, Selundar versus the scout. And he of course misses. In which case, I don't know that it's worth me trying to kill either of my other commons with each other, and I'll just hold on to them because I'm not going to be able. You're not going to play so much that I could play Into Darkness anyway if I draw it. So, I'm just going to build and pass, and try and remember what is in this deck. So,
You don't remember what's in the deck? You just showed it to us.
I just showed it to you, and I already kind of. I'm trying to remember the common distribution. I know what's in it, but I don't know how many of each common I have.
Fair enough. All right. Well, if you're passing, I'm going to go ahead and take my turn.
Yeah, I'm going to pass. I'm just going to build.
Okay. Okay, so. Nice little stockpile here. I think I am okay with beginning to fight back. So I'm gonna go ahead and summon. Not all my cards at once. Just this guy. Ideally, I could play one more. Press my luck. I think I'll do that. Okay, and I'll go ahead and move.
Okay.
We'll go there. So we'll have the cultist to the ranger. Nice. And the cultist to the swordsman. Not so nice. Rats. Okay. And then, so here's the toughie. I'm gonna use Mutagist. And, yeah, so pardon me while I scroll through my deck.
Feel free.
Yeah, this is the one thing on Vassal that I feel is
Deck
could
searches.
be a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not awful, but the playtest module has a deck search option, but it allows you to peer into your opponent's deck if you so wish as well, without being noticed.
You kind of have to play the honest game there. Hey, here's a question. I've always wondered this. On the app, if you don't have any mutations left in your draw pile, you can't use it. Or rather, you can use it, but it won't let you actually scroll through your draw pile.
Correct.
And is that how it's supposed to be? Because sometimes you get to the end of the game, and you go, I wonder if I still have a cultist left or a zealot left, so I can summon my whatever mutation. I'm out of attacks. Might as well use a mutagist just to see, and then
yeah, I don't think that's actually the correct ruling, but it makes the app a lot cleaner to use, which is why they went with it on there.
Yeah, reading Demagogue, you may search. It doesn't say anything about whether or not there's one there. Plus, it would be really impractical to expect people to have tracked that perfectly.
Exactly.
Right.
Spellsucker has been selected.
So, yeah, Spellsucker is normally a good first mutagist option. It's nice to get him out into the board.
Agreed. And it's either good to pull a Spellsucker or pull one out that you don't plan on using to build.
Exactly. So my first instinct is normally Spellsucker for event reliant factions, or Corpulent on my very, very first turn, just to build them, because I know I'm not going to get four magic for a while, except in this case. So, going with Spellsucker, and I think I'll build one. I tend to, if you're watching my hand, I tend to get rid of the mutations I don't need. Or, not rather that I don't need, but rather the ones I won't play. Yeah. In the next turn or two, I build them because they'll always be available later, and as we know, magic's everything in this game. So, I'm happy with that. Go ahead, Umbrage.
Okay.
Mr. Snow, as we call you.
Exactly.
Mr. Snow is my father. Actually, I think he would find it really weird if you called him that.
Senor Snow. Alright, and while you do that, I'm going to be resuming my Rise of the Alliance tournament match on my phone, so...
Go for it. And yeah, I think Saki is really good here. We were just talking about how important Into Darkness is.
Yeah.
And given,
It's a very crucial card in this matchup that can really swing the game. So... and it is interesting, because Filth doesn't usually have that many units out to begin with, so... Shadow Elves have to really try and play the card if they want to play it.
So if you're looking at my hand, the card on the bottom, I'm really wishing something had happened differently last turn so that I could make use of that. But
no kidding. Yeah. But there's no like immediate use
Yeah,
for it, right? But
it's just that
it's
I
it.
feel like I'm on a timer. Like, Demagogue is always going to win the long game, especially against Selundar. I mean, Demagogue has one of the best end games, but Selundar in particular is kind of useless once the deck is out
Yeah.
and wants to burn through it fast. So,
Overall, though, I think your hand is pretty good.
oh, I think this is a great hand.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to no summons. I am going to play one event, which is this wall, so that I can stop worrying about possessed walls.
So this is a very odd wall formation you have here.
I know.
The two backwards wall. Well, I mean, you can't help the starting wall, but I
It's
I
pretty
think
good.
your first wall placement was silly because, and here's why. Despite Selundar being the kind of summoner who needs units as forward as possible, as soon as possible, I still think walls are more beneficial to just cover more space laterally.
But our thought
And
was in this formation, he never has to get rid of that possessed wall.
right, move it over one left, you never have to get rid of possessed wall either, and you still have more coverage laterally, less open lanes. That said,
Um,
you do you.
my thought at the time, and that might be a better wall placement, but my thought at the time was that I might not ever see the second wall for a long time, or the third wall rather. And I wanted to put one wall somewhere where it could serve as like my only wall. And I felt
I,
that putting it all the way over into the E column, I guess, is I felt like that would make it really hard to get a demagogue. That was my reasoning on putting it farther to the left. But I
Yeah,
agree that it's not.
both sides make sense, right?
it's a judgment call. Anyways, we don't need to delve into the analysis of your
Oh no, it's
wall
really
placement.
important.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
It's
really
worth
important.
talking about. Yeah.
I think it's really important to the battle, but I also think it's one of the more interesting points of doing a video like this. Um, like,
That's fair. Yeah.
Now it's time to end the cult.
But if we're gonna keep talking about it, let's also continue with the turn.
yeah, I mean
Um,
that's why I'm making my move. So, yeah, so swordsman on the far right, and do you have shield?
no.
Okay, and other swordsman, and Selundar on scout. Finally,
I think you get
Beautiful.
4 dice, don't you?
oh, I probably
So
do.
Yeah, you get 4 dice.
Yeah,
here, see, if I hadn't seen your deck earlier, here's where I start to worry about Hydrake.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I've got the magic for Hydrake.
So
And if I
that's sorry.
yeah. Oh, I was going to say that in general,
I'm gonna go ahead and draw as you keep.
you can go ahead.
Talking.
I'm done. In general, if I know they haven't seen my deck, I love getting to 8 with Shadow Elves, whether or not I'm running Hydrake, because it makes them worry about Hydrake.
Right. That's always I completely agree. That's always a good way to look at it. All right. So as you can see, I just got a nice little draw to help stall for a turn. So I'll do this, and I think I'm okay with leaving Demagogue there. We'll go Zealot to Swordsman.
Ooh.
Rats.
That is
Okay.
That is pretty bad.
Yeah. We'll go with Mutagus here. Yeah. So we'll go with someone I don't need or don't think I would need in the next turn or two, and Absorption Mutant is always a good candidate for that. He's good for the end of the game.
Yeah, absorption. I used to put him in like most of my decks, but lately I've been thinking like, how often have I actually ever pulled a card with him successfully?
That's my thinking too. That said, I still rationalize it as he is a free magic I can pull out at any time.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'd rather have him in there than another one of the commons. And I don't, like I said, like the other mutations that much. So
yeah,
just
and I
having
guess that's a preference thing, right?
the
So.
the free range of cycling through magic or cards, whatever. Yeah. Anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and build this and this, and take it away. So now, as we just said with the Shadow Elves, when the Filth reach 8 magic, you also have to begin to worry. Well, presumably, you would have to begin to worry.
Yeah, no, I would worry about A-Bomb.
But we'll see what happens.
I would like to point out, I made an error last turn, and this is one of those things I want to point out, partly to help myself get better, but also to point out a minor tactical. I would have been better off if I moved the swordsman here and attacked from the side this way instead of moving him here.
Yes, you would have been.
Because then if I draw a hunter, I could have summoned it in the back row. So I'm just
Very
pointing
true.
that out for both my own benefit and as here, look how stupid I am.
And I would like to point out that miss that you did versus the swordsman could also have like affected the game on like a different level had Shadow Elves had shadows or not, right? Because there is a point in when playing one of these, which these are the two decks that have, these are two decks that both have these reaction events, that you're hoping that they succeed on the attack so that you can get them out of your hand.
Yes, you can use Shadows or Shield of the Hopeful to...
Right, so you sit there saying, please hit me, please hit me. Yeah, no, alright, I agree. What are you going to do with that big ol' magic pile? Nothing? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm going to go for Batman over here.
Now the game is opening up. I always like it when the first champion summon. That's when I feel like the game really begins.
Oh, then I guess I haven't played as many games of Summon Wars as I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it begins when you have the starting setup out, and then you roll the dice to see who goes first, and then one person chooses to go first or not. That's
common misconception. Very, yeah, no, that's, as I've said, that's not at all correct.
Anyway,
interesting to hear multiple opinions, though.
No events. During the movement phase, I am going to spend 1 magic so that Batman can deploy his utility belt.
Yeah, exactly.
David, I know you have, or Uncleeurope, I know you have, but Umbrage, have you seen the first art for Gargos? Because it was far more intimidating, I feel like.
I think it was I have.
Basically red wings and red eyes as opposed to pink wings. And
but see, he's comfortable in his masculinity. He's okay having the pink wings now.
It's not necessarily... It's still a very cool design and a very cool drawn card. I was more advocating for the red because he looks much more intimidating. Same with, Melondoc's original... Well, whatever. That was a whole rework as opposed to just a color change. But, right. So, now you're in position. And I'm okay with this. You're playing right into my trap.
Guess I'm going to go here with the swordsman. And I guess...
Wait, I missed something. How did Gargos get there?
He flew.
Wait.
He can fly 4?
Yeah, 2 extra spaces.
Wait. It gives him the vampire's ability.
I can't read.
Okay.
It's been forever since I've played any Summoner Wars other than that other game. And also, I don't know. For some reason...
Okay, so let's make this clear so that people don't get confused. Alright, so with Gargos' ability, you can pay the 1 magic to get Spirit of the Bat, which allows him, after the magic's been paid, two things open up. 1, he can move through cards at any time, and 2, after he attacks, he can move another additional 2 spaces.
You can spend a magic, and then you give him the vampire ability. So... Yeah.
Right,
anyway.
That's okay. Well, I was trying to clear it up for potential viewers, as few as they may be.
I move him here instead.
Fair enough.
Under the same logic. And then attacking is Swordsman versus the Zealot. And yeah,
And,
sorry about that. I haven't.
I'll go ahead and play shield. So stop that. So that's nice. As Uncle Europe previously said, get that out of my hand. Get the cards flowing.
And I'm going to move Gargos versus the wall. And do I want to fly with him, or do I want him there? This is actually kind of an interesting spot to keep him, because Demagogue can't get all that far away.
Right. Closing in on him opens up the option of having your swordsman come in from the other side. It's up to you. I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a benefit to preventing you from putting a unit between Demagogue and other things, but...
We shall see.
Maybe something like that's best.
Mm.
I think I'm going to do that. And
I'd
then,
say, if you want my my opinion on your move here, when I do these kinds of... well, I guess it doesn't matter quite as much. Yeah, I just look for the fewest points of attack on my card. So if I can get him in a position where only 2 cards can attack him as a,
yeah,
either as opposed to 3. I guess it doesn't matter quite as much in this situation. But yeah. Anyways, carry on.
Yeah, no, I'm honestly torn about it. I'm torn about better positioning, leaving him here, going here, going here.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
It's a big debate.
I'd probably just go in, personally. But that may just be me.
Yeah.
It also limits what he can do on his turn a lot more.
Yeah, somewhere like here, if the Zealot moves... well, here's better because he'd have to summon. But if the Zealot moved, he'd open up other... I think we can go with this placement.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Anyway,
with what he wants to do the most.
Did I ever roll the Swordsman against the wall?
No.
No, you didn't.
Okay, so there we go. And then I'm going to choose to not build anything.
I think I agree with that too. Yeah, I think that I do that as well.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that leaves me to wonder, but I won't dwell on it because I don't actually care enough to. But a more competent player than I would think about that as an interesting move. He probably has a series of events that he's going to want to play, so I assume he's going to have Shadows in his hand by now. Probably holding on to Into Darkness. That's a nice card to have. Probably a couple of champions. I'm expecting Satara in this deck. I don't remember if I saw her or not. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what my draw brings. Ooh. It's not great.
Flip them. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I was sorry. I hadn't selected all 3.
I'm just gonna be the flip them police until my shift is over.
Okay, yeah. So I think it's pretty clear what I'm going to do here.
That is a weird hand.
Yeah. Yeah, I think. Let's see. So I think moving Gargos there was good. One, because now, should I summon someone on top of the Zealot, he can't get there. So I was going to point that out.
Yeah, that's what sold me on that. When I thought about it more, keeping him out of range of the Zealot, or whatever mutation it might be that's not BS deal.
Yeah.
Right.
That's kind of what sold me. I guess you or somebody would be able
Winged
to...
as well. I mean, he has tools that he could bring out, but Claw won't be able to do that if that was an option.
Right.
Yeah, unless it also has a common.
Claw would be the one. So I do have Claw in my hand, and he would be the one I would want to bring out if I could get in range, because that's a guaranteed 5 dice. But let's play risk here.
Let's do it.
And
I believe
bring out a bomb. So I'm always up for a good old-fashioned slugfest here.
I'm
All
excited
right, so
for
I
this.
think I have him cornered off well enough where that I don't have to worry about Demagogue being attacked from another angle. So I'm going to go ahead and skip to my attack phase. I don't think moving would be all that beneficial. And I'm going to go ahead and roll for Withering Spawn right now. Nice.
That's a
Not
pretty
terrible.
good roll.
That's oh, I forgot to shout. Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's
So,
like
anyways,
slightly above average.
Yeah, that's true. That's the truth.
yeah. But so here's the thing, though. Had I shouted a bomb, he would have, I would have gotten a 6. But that's all right. So
that
we'll
how that
go
works?
with.
Never
It
had
is.
luck with that myself.
Well, then you're not shouting hard enough. So a bomb to Gargos. All right, I'm okay with that.
That is one more than
That yeah.
that's a bit more.
And Demagogue to Gargos.
Okay. I see.
Nice. And Zealot to Swordsman. Convenient. Okay. And now it's time to build and get some events into my hand. Okay. So overall, I'm pretty content with that turn. It was mostly reactive, pretty straightforward. Depending on the draw, I might have done a couple other things, but I think that's, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
The Zealot on Swordsman ineffective slap fight over here is kind of funny, though.
Yeah, that is funny.
I don't know.
So-
I feel like you've got it this turn.
Yeah,
Okay,
it really
yeah.
depends on this one card that he draws here. And I don't think that's the card that he wanted.
No, that is not exactly my...
I know the card that I wanted you to draw, and that
A
isn't
hunter
it.
would have been nice, huh?
Well, I am going to, in fact, summon a hunter,
Okay.
who then goes
That's-
over here.
Yep.
That's a good play. As long as you can trap Dema, you've got a
Yeah.
good shot.
So... 1, 2, 3... I'm wondering if I should have built a certain card that I've been holding on to all game.
I
But
find that I've talked to a couple people about this. Not that I've cared too much, but it's come up where I feel like, and I think it was Grissamentum, the first person who, I really got in depth with this about, is that event management with the Shadow Elves, I feel like, is much more difficult than the others because he has such good events, but that because they're so much more situational, the decision on whether or not to hold them or build them is often very hard, at least for me. So Summon the Night is something that it really works when the situation's right, but at the same time, it's not something you want to hold on to all game and clog up your hand. Even
Yeah.
what is
So
it? Stalking Advance? Is that the?
Yeah.
yeah, stocking events. I agree with that a lot.
So you're
some-
either encouraged to play them liberally or build them. And, yeah, whenever I play them, I tend to just play them whenever it could help me a little bit, because that edge can sometimes be significant. A lot of their events are all based around disruption, and so being able to do that to your opponent as often as possible to make it so that their plan isn't optimal is a lot of the times enough to pull out a win, at least in my experience.
That's I'm not the best Shadow Elves player because I'm so partial to Blade Masters, and apparently they're not that good. But I run them anyways because I don't care, and that often I feel like that often leads to my demise because I play them more similar to a turtle deck than to an attacking deck, and as we know, that's not what he is. Anyways, carry on.
Anyway, so I definitely agree about the events, by the way. But Swordsman on Zealot, and do you have shield this time?
No. Take him
Finally.
away.
We have a winner, guys. We have a winner.
And then Batman on Demagogue for
All
2.
right, the expected roll. Not
And
still
then
recover.
Hunter on Demagogue. And that
All right.
Hunter is the MVP.
This game's not out of reach yet, guys. I'm not shaking in my boots.
And
quite
then
yet.
Building Magic, I'm going to do that. And probably, yeah, I'm going to do this. And go ahead.
All right, so that's crummy. That's better. And I know to flip.
I was gonna keep it to myself this time.
Cool. So I just got 2 very useful cards. That said, they aren't going to be much use at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't dispute.
Yeah, and I know, right? That is not a very, very exciting hand for your situation, my friend.
All right, so I pretty much there's no reason to think about this. I have no options. Just try to block as many spaces as possible.
I may reverse those 2 summons though. I don't know, because the cultist can't attack adjacent. So
yeah,
I agree
maybe
with that.
I don't see how reversing it would help my situation at the moment.
okay, if you're planning on moving,
the cultist won't be attacking this turn anyways.
yeah, carry on. I see what you're doing.
Anyways,
it's okay.
So I just needed someone there to minimize the amount of dice that might be, thrown at Demagogue next turn. Okay, so we'll go with Withering Spawn. Nice. A-Bomb to Gargos. Beautiful.
And I'm going to play Shadows.
Shadows, as expected. There you go.
Thank you.
And then we'll go with Dema to Hunter.
And Shadows again.
Shadows. And here is where I'm fully expecting Into Darkness and Stalking Advance, and then a kind of, situation on Demagogue here. So the question now becomes, I guess I have to kill the Swordsman. I couldn't have played it in any other way to try to kill one of my guys. So we'll go Zealot to the Swordsman right above, well, the only one you can kill.
Exactly.
So the other one didn't roll well. We'll see if this one's better trained. He's not.
No.
Where did they... Oh my goodness.
They don't really train them. They're just like, hey, you're new. How would you like to go to battle?
Yeah, I don't know where these guys went to, attacking school. Anyways, so carry on to Into Darkness, and
Well, he has no cards in his hand, so he has to draw into it.
Fair enough. So if luck's on my side, he doesn't have it, and I have 2 blockers.
Otherwise, this is going to end very poorly for you very quickly.
Yeah, I suspect that this could be the last turn.
He did get a pretty fancy hand.
This is a very fancy hand. How am I going to do this? I want to actually plan this before I,
So in hindsight, I probably would have played while you're thinking. Do you want to talk it through?
You can talk it through. I'm going to say that there's a lot of irony to my last turn.
Okay.
To build decisions at the end, but
yeah, right.
Yeah, I think I might have, if I could have, now looking back, played A-Bomb in a... So the reason I played him there first was to block Demagogue off from the approaching swordsman, but obviously he just went around the wall from the other side. So playing A-Bomb, when I first summoned him off of the foremost wall might have been more useful, just to have him more in the fray.
I can see that. It was a tough call, though, back then.
Other mistakes made... Well, the whole strategy here was to just wait out the attack from Selundar. When he decks out, then I press on.
Yeah, you definitely win the end game. Speaking of which... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, end it. Go ahead.
Oh, so I do have Into Darkness. I took a minute to realize that I couldn't summon anything because that would make it so I couldn't Into Darkness.
Right.
So yeah,
It's going to be the 4 swords or the 4 attacks from the swordsman.
yeah. So
the
they go to my discard.
I think
So
so.
I'm
Yeah.
discarding them. Not
think
that it
so.
really matters. But
it would if they were mutations.
if they were mutations, yeah, that's why I'm.
Okay. Let's see it happen.
So
So
4 dice. Good
And
game.
that's
ooh,
it.
good game. So
Very close.
the misses on that one swordsman was also a determining factor. It seems like 3. I think it was 3 misses.
I was sitting there with 2 shadows in hand, waiting to get rid of them.
Right.
And
yeah.
so, like, your failure to kill my crap made me hold on to shadows a lot longer
Yeah.
when I kind of wanted the magic. But
Now, this is interesting because even if he had in that last turn, like where what stuff? This was here, and then it was something. It was like that, right? If this guy did die, to when you rolled instead of getting the 2, then he could still have gotten, because he could have summoned then. Now that the person died, and it would have been. So,
he still wouldn't have had 4 hits though.
Well, he has
unless
2
you have
stalking
stalking advance. Okay.
So, it ended up. I mean, his hand was really good, but it ended up meaning that you missing that swordsman didn't matter as much because of his really, really epic hand.
I wasn't so much at that point. I had kind of realized I screwed myself by putting myself in the corner. It was more the first 2, but yeah.